There we go. So Jennifer, welcome, and thank you so much for wanting to do this interview with me. I think your story is very inspiring. Your attitude towards life is incredible. So I think it would be selfish if we would not share with the world what you have been through and how you are today. So I first said 6 months ago, but I think, is it a year ago or when you got some awful news? How long is that ago?
It was February. It was actually Valentine's Day 2020.
Okay, more than a year ago. So
yes.
Okay, so February, before the 13th of February, you were minding your own business, living your life. Tell me first a little bit about that, about you're married, kids and all that. So how did your life look like until February 13th, 2020?
Well, I was living a busy life. I'm married for 16 years to my husband, Shane. I have a son and twin girls. My son lives in Fort Wayne with his girlfriend and goes to college, and he lives with my nephew. But I have twin girls who are 13 that live at home. They're in sports, and I worked full time in LaPorte, which is about a 45-minute drive from Plymouth. So yeah, and my husband is self-employed, and with all of that, we lived a pretty busy life, and the days flew by, and I was happy, I thought, and
yeah. I was happy, I thought. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Until that day.
So then, yeah. So in January, I actually found a lump on my left breast, and I almost blew it off because I'd had a cold and I thought it could be a lymph node or something. And a few weeks went by and I got a cold, and I went to the doctor and I actually brought it up, and they said we should get it scanned. And then, but another reason I almost blew it off was because I had a passing mammogram I had just gotten the results from 2 weeks prior to finding the lump. So I was really doubting that it was anything. So the reason it didn't show up on the mammogram is because I have what's called dense breast tissue, and they said a lot of women have this. So a mammogram can't always detect it. Yeah. So I went in, they biopsied it, and then I found out for sure it was cancer on February 14th. I had surgery in April. They did a partial mastectomy on my left breast. There were more tumors that I couldn't feel that were in my breast, so they had to remove those as well. And then I also had a reduction done on my right side. They removed 6 lymph nodes, and 2 of those also tested positive for cancer. So it had spread throughout my body, through my lymph system. And after I healed from surgery, I started chemotherapy, and it was going to be 8 sessions. I only finished 6. I got pneumonia and had to have a lung procedure. And so they decided I wouldn't have to finish the chemotherapy. And actually, I was told at that time that my body can't handle any more chemotherapy because I had an allergic reaction, and it permanently has damaged my lung. I have scar tissue in my lung now, but it doesn't really bother me on a day-to-day basis. But I actually see the doctor next week to find out more about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. So until the day that you got that diagnosis, what did your health and wellness, what did that mean for you before the diagnosis? How? Yeah.
I wasn't healthy. I worked long days. If you include the drive time, I was sitting at a desk and driving up to, it was almost 12 hours every day. I didn't really exercise very often. Sometimes I would walk or take some classes here and there. It definitely wasn't part of my everyday life.
Mm-mm.
And I also was a junk food junkie. I ate really bad. I ate out a lot, you know, and just, yeah, I wasn't taking care of myself
Mhm.
for a really long time.
Mhm.
And I had a pretty stressful job, which I've always had stressful jobs, but I thought I liked the excitement of it. You know, the fast pace, the, you know, problem solving and being, you know, always be, you know, I don't know, just on the go, I guess.
Always on the go. Yeah.
Always on the go,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Yeah. So then I bet then time stands still when you hear that news.
Yes.
Can you even describe what goes through your head or body when you get that news?
I honestly, I was totally blindsided. I had gone in for I went in for a CT scan for my lungs to make sure the pneumonia was gone after 2 months of steroids and antibiotics and after having a procedure. And so when I went in the day, he said the pneumonia's gone, but we found a tumor that showed up in the CAT scan on your spine and sternum and ribs, and you know we need to do a biopsy and a full bone scan right away. So he said it's probably nothing, you know. He tried to stay really positive, and so I believed him. And at that time I thought I was still going to beat cancer. And then when the results came back and he said I had stage 4 bone cancer, it was horrible. It just was life shattering. It was everything. Like I think I blacked out for a second. I went numb, and I actually just wanted to walk out of the office. I just wanted to be alone. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to ask. I was stunned.
Yeah. I was gonna ask like what was your next question to the doctor, but you said you didn't know what to ask.
Well,
Yeah.
I did ask him right away, am I going to die? And when? Of course. And he, you know, he said he doesn't like to talk about the statistics. And I said, but I need to know, you know. And he told me at that time the average was 3 to 5 years. So that was really hard to hear.
Yeah.
And I was crushed. I mean, I thought I could beat cancer. I thought I could, you know, I had the surgery. I thought I had it all removed. I thought, you know, I went through the chemotherapy. I thought there couldn't be any more in my body. It was gone. And so, I mean, it was just shocking.
Yeah. Yeah. So, thank you for sharing all that. So knowing from another client with breast cancer that I coached, there can be like a sort of a information overload, so that you start to read everything there is to read about cancer and all of that. How did you handle that?
That's exactly what I did. So up until that point, I was doing what the doctor told me. I bought a Susan B. Komen breast cancer guide that I kind of used to help explain the new terminology I had to learn. And they had recommendations to, you know, what to discuss with your doctor and whatnot. But, you know, I read it when I had time, or, you know, but after the stage 4 diagnosis, I wanted to know everything. So, I mean, I bought books and I read everything I could. I I looked up supplements I could take. I changed my diet. I started exercising, meditating. I took a CBT class with you
Yeah.
that really turned my life around and really helped me actually get going on all of the good habits that I have now.
Yeah.
That I just
So,
mentioned.
yeah. So let's talk about that. So on October 2nd, we had our first call. So we knew each other from before, and I was following you a little bit on Facebook, and now and then sending you some supportive messages. And then I felt actually in my gut that although everyone was saying she's doing really, really well, she's positive, I felt in my gut that was just, you know, like a masquerade, or how do you say it, that you put on. So I reached out to Jennifer and I said, how are you really doing? And so her response showed that she was really not doing well. So that's when I invited you for a discovery call on October 2nd. And so, yeah, so at the start of that call, do you recall the words? Because I do, I will never forget them. Like the words that you told me when we just got on the call.
I said, I give up.
Yes. Yeah. I give
I
up.
can't beat cancer. I give up.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do. I thought I'm just gonna, you know, plan my funeral, get ready for the next, you know,
Yeah.
the next thing, which is, you know, I'm gonna die. Honestly, that's all I could think about.
Yeah.
It was really hard.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I'll never forget that. Yeah. It just gives me goosebumps every time I hear it.
I mean, I had so much hope before that. And, you know, I was still ill from the chemotherapy. I felt really bad. I was still not feeling well from the pneumonia. So my physical health was really, really down, and it had been for the entire summer. The chemotherapy really, you know, took a toll on my body. And so not only did I feel bad physically, that was, you know, my hope was gone. I mean, my mental state was really not good. It was not in a good place at all.
Yeah. So we were on the call. I think it must have been about an hour or 45 minutes. How did you feel at the end of the call?
I was hopeful that I was ready to try anything to just not feel like I felt anymore. I didn't want to feel like that one more day. I couldn't stand it. It wasn't me. And I wanted to show my girls, you know, how to be strong in any kind of health situation. I have 2 daughters that look up to me, and I wanted them to remember me as somebody who was really strong and could get through, you know, difficult times, not, you know, a victim, or, you know.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get there myself.
Yeah. So you were actually, because I read that in your like one of your worksheets or and the testimonial, that you actually, you at the end of the call you said, let's do this, sign me up for the course, the 12-week course. And then I read later in your testimonial that you had no idea what you were getting yourself into.
No.
You were actually thinking that it just would be nice to have someone to talk to about everything.
Honestly.
Right? That was just
Yes.
like a partner, like to share whatever with, right? Yeah.
Yes. Instead of, you know, always, you know, dumping on my best friend and my husband. I wanted somebody that I could be real with and not say, oh, I'm okay, I'm good. And, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't want everyone to worry about me. It's been going on for so long.
Yeah. So you signed up for something that you didn't really know what it was. You just thought, I have someone to talk to. And then what happened? Like week 1, week 2 of that course?
So I really, at the beginning, I really liked the Zoom calls with the talking, and, you know, we started digging into, you know, why why I was thinking the way I was thinking and why I was feeling so stressed. So we broke all of that down. And once I could see it, and figure it out by doing the homework, which was a little overwhelming, but it makes you realize so many things. I mean, it's self-discovery is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to get there. It takes work and a different kind of thinking that I never done before.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but when you break it down, it's not as bad as you think it is, and it's not as big as you think it is. And
yeah. So there was in the workshop, the course, however you want to call it, there's like 3 parts in it. There is the guided course that you are that feeds you almost every day with an assignment, homework. You have that part, and then you have the coach calls. So for you, it was the formula where we go on a call every week, and where you have in between support and guidance. And so that was part 2. And then that's it, I think, right? 2 parts. I'm confused. So the guided course, and then the guided course, you have the coach calls, and you have the in-between support. That's part 3. So you had that formula to work with. So how was now there's the options. People, if they want to sign up for the course, they have the option to do just the course, the online guided course, self-guided, or to add a limited number of coaching calls, or to have the formula that you did, like the VIP thing. So how, now that there's the 3 options, would you still go for option number 3, where you get and the in-between support, at least from Monday to Friday, often in the weekends, and the coach calls every week? Would you still go for that complete package?
Definitely. I needed that to get everything out of it that I needed. I needed that support and guidance. The calls, the Zoom calls were a really nice addition. I mean, that didn't really have anything to do with CBT every time. I mean, we would always start with, gratitude and, what can I be thankful for? And, at first I was like, nothing.
Right.
I don't think I said nothing, but I said my family or something. But then, the list would grow and grow. And like, as my hope and faith came back, and we would always talk about, what good is going on and what I'm excited about, or what I need to do and what's in the way. And all of that was good to talk about. It reminded me of things I needed to do and helped me feel like I was really, on top of what was going on in my life. And I felt more in control, and it made me feel better and better each time. And, my anxiety was,
of course it was. Yeah. So how, if someone who has never been coached before, and how would you explain that, how sitting behind a computer can help create mental and physical changes for someone? How can you describe that or explain that to someone that's never done online coaching before?
Well, what I took out of it is the resources you gave me in the Zoom calls, when we would just on the fly go off topic on a discussion of something that was bothering me in my life, or whatever I had going on that day. You would give me resources right then and there that were so amazing that you would send me links to books or podcasts, or that you already knew of, I would have never found on my own. Maybe, but it would have taken a lot of time. I don't know where to go look, and you had them right there. And I'm still going through, I still haven't read all the books I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I had to have all of it. So and
Yeah.
it was the best thing I've ever done. I mean, for a long
Wonderful. So
time.
I wrote down a couple more questions. Yeah, did you ever like not feel like doing your homework from the course? Not forgetting that you were having chemo and a treatment and all of that. Did you ever feel like physically or mentally like, oh, not today? And how did you
Yes,
handle that if that was the case?
I did feel like that, but I mean, it wasn't because I didn't feel like doing it. I wanted to be able to focus on it and to have quiet time alone is rare in this house. So that was my challenge, but I found a way to make it work. But you have to do the homework. That is what I realized, you know. And even when I got a little bit behind on the homework, you were super understanding, and um, we still would go over, together whatever the subject was. And so then that would get me really excited to go look at the homework because then I was curious and I wanted to know. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, I was always so happy after I did it
Yeah.
because I would each time have something to take away. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So in the course, with the course and the online coaching that you did, how early on did things start to really change for you? Your mindset, your whole attitude towards the prognosis that you got?
I would say by mid-November, by mid to end November, I was really starting to feel like myself again. It probably took me a good 4 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
before I really I finally started to feel like my old self again and thought, it's going to be okay. And, oh,
Yeah.
and, at the same time, I was learning more about my diagnosis too, and understanding that in the 3 to 5 years, that's not including the new drugs that came out in 2017. And there were a lot of different things that also, I was physically starting to feel better, and my mental was, much better than what it was
Yeah.
a month before. And so all of it together just really,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah. How did your support system look like? Did it grow during those 12 weeks? Your support system?
Um, no, if anything, it declined. Most people, so I was updating everyone a lot throughout, the chemotherapy, the surgery. Um, I was using the caring bridge, but after I was diagnosed stage 4 and I went on my new treatment plan, there was really not much to update anyone. And, you know, people were so supportive when I was on chemotherapy. People were bringing meals and bringing gift cards and just trying to really help out because Shane works really long hours in the summers. And that's when I had my chemotherapy. Thank goodness for my dog Stormy. She laid and slept with me every day, all day, all summer.
Oh,
But yeah, so I mean, if anything, my support kind of, people kind of quit asking and people kind of just, but that was good. I needed that. I needed time to myself.
yeah, yeah,
And I even asked if it would be okay if I went offline for a while and not update everyone all the time on the caring bridge. That was one of my posts. And people respected it. So,
yeah. So you were learning to set boundaries for your self-care.
Yes.
What other healthier habits have you incorporated compared to before the course?
Um, I changed my diet right away. So I'm doing just a paleo diet, mostly vegetarian, only with organic chicken, eggs, and some fish I'm doing. I'm juicing 3 meals a week, and I'm walking every day for at least 30 minutes up to an hour. I meditate anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day.
Wow.
Um, what else am I doing?
Have you, yeah, you've done some things that you would have never done without the course. Can you think about what I'm thinking of? Some,
Water?
yeah. So, yeah,
Yes.
cold shower.
The cold showers, the Wim Hof method. Yes. The ways to increase my immune system. You know, I had no idea
Yeah.
that program existed. And just in the Joe Dispenza, the Becoming Supernatural book was huge for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is amazing. And it makes sense that, you know, you live in a constant state of stress all the time. Your body is going to change, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
You can't always, you know, be in the fight, flight, or freeze.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you go into fight, flight, or freeze, when you're stressed, you know, your heart doesn't pump blood to your organs, because it wants to save all of the energy to run from the tiger or lion that's chasing you, you know, because that's what your body, you know, thinks is happening. And so that's really bad for your organs.
Yeah.
He just explained things so well that I can see why, you know, stress can definitely cause cancer.
Yeah.
And in my case, I think that's why I got cancer. And I've been spreading the word to all of my friends that live just like me. And you put it perfectly the day you described the jelly beans, where you have a little bowl of jelly beans and you have 2 plates. And every time you do something for yourself, you put it on one plate. And every time you do something else, you put it on the other plate. Well, at the end of the day, my plate was always full here and nothing for myself. And all of my friends are the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do everything for their family. They work, they don't take time for themselves, and it's not healthy.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know who I was anymore. I mean,
right. Yeah.
the journaling really has helped a lot too.
Yeah. Yep. Journaling. You've been journaling. You did hypnosis as
Yep.
well. Yeah. All kinds of alternative things to help support your healing and your immune system and your mindset and all of that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm taking all kinds of supplements. I read Starving Cancer by Jane McClellan, and so that really taught me a lot about what feeds cancer, what supplements you can take to block the receptors, and
Yeah.
I'm trying that. You know, I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah. So what did you believe before about cancer, and what do you believe now about cancer?
Before, I thought of cancer as death. It means it's a death sentence, and yeah, and it was just an awful thing that you know, you have this awful death from, and you know, but now I think of it as a second chance of life, because it really made me slow down and look at the way I was living my life, and is that really how I wanted to live my life? And and the answer is no. I want to be healthy, and I want to be around a long time, and I'm learning to take care of myself now. yeah, I've been given a second chance, and I'm gonna be different this time. I'm gonna slow down,
Yeah. So
be present.
yeah, the prognosis that you're going to live 3 to 5 more years. What is your answer to that? To that?
No,
No.
I plan to live a long time, at least until I'm 80.
Yes.
They keep coming out with new clinical trials and drugs every day.
Yeah.
And, you know, the treatment plan I'm on now, when it fails, if it fails, I have 8 more treatment plans I can take. So I plan to be around a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're doing everything you can for yourself to support yourself, way more than you did before, right?
Right.
So what advice do you have for women who have lots of stress, anxiety, negative thinking, depressive episodes? Is there something you would advise them?
Take care of yourself first before you try to do anything, before you take care of anyone else or anything else. Take care of yourself first.
Yeah.
Self-care should be number one.
Yeah.
And you'll be surprised how much, if your family, you know, how much they will support you.
Yeah.
And it's the best thing that you can teach your children.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
your spouse.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, that advice, like take care of yourself first. If someone would have told you that before you had your diagnosis, would that have helped that someone just said that to you? Or does someone just do it because someone else says it?
No, I did not know until all of the research I've done that stress causes cancer. I did not know that. It can also be caused by, genetics. It can be caused by exposing yourself to carcinogens over and over. But I didn't have either of those situations. It doesn't run in my family. I don't have any of the gene mutations. I had genetic testing done. So thankfully I didn't pass anything on to my daughter or my children. So the only thing I think it can be is living an unhealthy lifestyle for over 20 years.
Yeah. Physically and or mentally unhealthy lifestyle.
Yes.
So as you're not passing on the cancer genes to your children, you could have passed on the stress life to your children. So is that now your focus, and what you want to teach your children to?
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely. And even though my son is not living under the same roof as me, we FaceTime almost every day and have long talks. He's been a good friend and really helped me through this, somebody to talk to. It's just really, the support I've gotten from my family is just amazing, and I just love them so much. And the girls are still young enough that I hope that they can really learn. I've had them meditate with me.
Oh,
they were giggly at first, but then they, I think they like it now.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Okie doke. So we're not going to take up more of your time, Audrey's time. So yeah, my takeaways are stress kills, stress causes cancer. Take care of yourself first. And then that you're going to be an old wrinkly lady at 80, right?
Yep.
So Audrey, I don't know if there's anything that you want to ask Jennifer before we wrap up.
No, but I'm really proud of her for doing this.
Yeah.
It was really good. It was good to hear.
Yeah.
You've raised a great, all your kids, but Cam, I'm glad he's there for you right now. It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm proud of you too. And yeah, I'll see you around, I guess, right?
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Right. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye-bye. Have a
you.
great night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.